Spend a summer day in Phoenix, Arizona, and you might want to put on your highest grade sunblock.
Unrelenting heat bears down on Phoenix as the temperature shoots towards a record-breaking 120.
These are the kinds of temperatures that are detrimental to your health.
Phoenix hit 110 today for the second straight day, and there's more where that came from.
Or perhaps just stay indoors. Phoenix is America's hottest city right now, and not in the good way. In 2020, it hit 43 degrees Celsius on 53 days. That's 20 more days than the year before. Now, it's a desert, so things are always going to be warm, but Phoenix is particularly prone to overheating thanks to its rising population and all of its concrete, asphalt and car parks. These temperatures aren't merely uncomfortable, they can be deadly. Nearly 200 people died from extreme heat in Phoenix in 2020, a 60% increase from 2019. And climatologists fear this trend could only get worse. The government of Phoenix wants to be cool and is doing something few cities have done before, using innovative construction materials and urban design to cut the heat. Phoenix has pretty much always been scorching. Thanks to its latitude, high temperature and low elevation, it's a bit of a target for hot weather. But location isn't the only factor that contributes to the heat. Over the past decade, the city's population has been rapidly growing. In fact, it's one of the fastest in the US. Today, nearly 1.7 million people live in Phoenix, a 16% increase since the last census. This growth has created a phenomenon known as the urban heat island effect. That's where a metropolitan area gets much hotter than its surrounding, typically rural areas. More people means more construction of things like buildings, car parks and roads, and less room for greenery, which can be key for shade and lower temperatures. It typically reflects the heat. Some of the artificial surfaces found in cities, like concrete, tend to retain more heat from the sun. And unlike open spaces where hot air can be widely dispersed, densely packed buildings typically disrupt airflow and can make it hotter. It might not surprise you to learn that nearly 100% of Phoenix residents use aircon, but while that keeps people cool indoors, it also transfers heat back outside. As if you weren't already getting a little hot under the collar, these heat waves are also very expensive. According to a study, the people of Phoenix spend around $7.3 million in heat-related hospital visits every year, and government agencies spend upwards of $100 million maintaining roadways that crumble in extreme temperatures. Now, that particularly impacts low-income neighbourhoods. People here have less access to the resources they need to cool down. Half the deaths in 2020 occurred outdoors where people may not have had access to shelter. As for the deaths indoors, faulty aircon was typically the culprit. Some people may not have been able to afford the fix. With rising deaths and temperatures, in 2021, Phoenix created the Office of Heat Response and Mitigation, with a goal of reducing these numbers. These guys are seriously cool, and their team is led by head cool dude Dr. David Hondula, a former professor at Arizona State University.
To our knowledge, it's the first publicly funded office sitting in local government structure in at least the United States, maybe North America, maybe the world. Of course, it's really hard to know exactly what's happening in every community across the world.
In 2022, Hondula's team submitted a response to the city with a range of ideas to work with other departments to meet their goals.
First and foremost, we divide our thinking into two broad categories. Heat response activities are those we describe as short-term strategies that help keep people safe and comfortable when it is hot. And here we're talking more in the emergency management realm, strategies like cooling centers, public warning, messages, communication, certain laws and protections about heat safety, which we'll come back to. And then the other half of our thinking is heat mitigation, longer term strategies to cool the city and increase quality of life.
One of these strategies is to plant more trees, but because Phoenix is literally in the middle of a desert, only certain drought-resistant species can survive. In 2010, Phoenix set out to plant a tree canopy that would help cover 25% of the city by 2030. But as of now, things aren't on track, and the plan is likely to be revised.
Then there are other challenges in maintaining trees in the urban environment. A number of our trees will get uprooted by storms every year. They'll get hit by vehicles in the streetscape. There certainly is occasional vandalism that happens.
Branching out, another idea Phoenix has been testing is cooling its pavements. This is a layer of grey coloured paint sprayed on top of asphalt with a product called Cool Seal. It's a water-based asphalt emulsion. Darker coloured pavement absorbs heat from the sun and then releases it at night, leading to higher temperatures and more energy consumption. The grey pavement instead reflects sunlight, and Phoenix hopes this can help to ease its temperatures.
We got cool pavement product inside the machine, and at the back of the machine you actually have spray nozzles, so it provides an even, thorough application of the cool pavement material.
Cooling pavement is currently being tested in a few select neighbourhoods, and the results are looking promising. Surface temperatures are consistently 5 to 6 degrees cooler than traditional asphalt. The surrounding neighbourhoods as a whole experienced a drop in temperature by a fraction of a degree throughout the day as well. And the benefits didn't end there.
There will be less thermal strain on the asphalt itself, which should increase the longevity, which would mean we can lengthen the repaving cycle for streets that have the cool pavement. And that is absolutely money savings.
Now, this is all pretty cool, but the department doesn't expect this technology to be the definitive solution, and a few more options are still on their very cool office table.
So we believe they'll be rolling out an incentive program for cool roofs on residential properties in the near future. Cool roof, same idea as cool pavement. And then yes, attention to a zoning ordinance, redevelopment cases. Redevelopment is really one of the few opportunities the city has to shape what our city looks like, what's on the ground, how tall is it, what color is it, how much vegetation is there.
Changes to any building codes or architecture will take time, and feeling the impact of any positive effects from that might take even longer.
All of what we're talking about could be perceived as unattractive to the development community if we are not presenting a comprehensive narrative and explaining from our perspective why we think these are good investments to make and why they can be beneficial not only to residents but also to developers.
Progress is set to be measured in grim statistics like death and illness numbers and calls to emergency services. But it may take a few years to truly understand what the key performance measures really are. Urbanisation is a factor driving this type of regional climate change. As our shifting environment begins to bring stronger storms, wildfires and droughts across the world, cities far beyond Phoenix are going to be forced to act. The city's actions today could serve as useful learning for others tomorrow, and proof that global change often has to start at a local level. Stay cool guys, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you're subscribed to tomorrow's build.